The question says, so for x in this equation, it's okay. So we have 5 raised power with x plus 1 equals 25. In the second equation, we have 8 raised power x plus 1 equals the cube root of 64. So how do we go about this solution? Okay. The first one, we have this as 5, okay, raised power with x, okay, plus 1 equals 25, okay. So let us have the same base. So we have 5 raised power with x plus 1 equals, so for 25 we have it as 5 squared, which represents 25, okay. So let us have root x plus 1, which is this, equals 2, okay. But we need to take the square of both sides, so we have root x plus 1 squared, okay. So here we have this as 2 squared, okay. So what do we do from here? So this is out, so we have this as x plus 1 equals, so for 2 squared is 2 times 2, okay. So we have x plus 1 equals, so for 2 times 2 we have it to be 4, okay. So what do we do from here? We subtract 1 from both sides, so we have x plus 1 minus 1 equals 4 minus 1. So this is out, so we have just x, okay. So for 4 minus 1 we have it to be 3, okay. So let us check. So for 5 raised to power the square root of x plus 1 equals 25, okay. So here we have this as 5. So for 1 x is 3, so we have square root of 3 plus 1, so we have 5. So for square root of 3 plus 1 is 4, square root of 4. Now we have this as 5. For square root of 4 is 2. So 5 squared, we have it as 5 times 5. So answer to 25, which equals this, okay. So for the second equation, we have it as 8, okay, raised power x plus 1 equals the cube root of 64. So let's have this in base 2. So we have 2 raised power 3 into x plus 1. And for the cube root of 64, we have it as 4, okay. So now let's have the same base. So we have 2 raised to power 3x plus 1 equals, so for 4 we have it as 2 raised to power 2. So when we apply the exponent rule, we have 2, yeah. So for 3 times x is 3x plus, so for 3 times 1 we have to be 3 equals, here we have this as 2 square, okay. So from here we have the same base, so let's equate the power. So we have 3x plus 3, okay, equals to, what do we do next? We subtract 3 from both sides of the equation. So we have 3x plus 3 minus 3 equals 2 minus 3, okay. So here we have this as 3x, okay. So for plus 3 minus 3, that gives 0. So we have equals 2 minus 3 is minus 1. So what do? We divide both sides by 3, okay. So we do that, we have x to be minus 1 over 3, okay. So the value of x in this equation is minus 1 over 3. The question says solve this equation, okay. So we have 2 raised to power x plus 1 plus 2 raised to power x minus 1 equals 40, okay. So how do we solve this equation? We have solution, okay. So for 2 raised to power x plus 1 plus 2 raised to power x minus 1 equals 40. So when we look at this equation, we have, at this part of the equation, we have 2 raised to power x plus 1, 2 raised to power x minus 1. So the first thing we need to do is to look out for what can we use to factor out this equation, this side of the equation, okay. We look for the common factor, and do not forget, in our law of indices, when we are multiplying the same base, okay, we are multiplying the same base. Okay, so since we have the same base, we pick out one. Okay, we add the power. Okay, so that means for 2 raised to power x plus 1 plus 2 raised to power x minus 1, we can factor out with 2 raised to power x, okay, minus 1. So when we do this, we have this side to be 2 squared, okay, plus 1. Okay, so when we have this like this, so when we say 2 raised to power x, okay, minus 1 times 2 raised to power 2, which is this, okay, we are going to have 2 raised to power x minus 1 plus 2, okay, that gives us 2 raised to power x, okay, plus 1, which is this part of the equation, okay. And when we multiply 2 raised to power x minus 1 times this, we have this, okay. So from here, let us equate this to 40. So we have 2 raised to power x minus 1, okay, into 2 raised to power 2 plus 1, okay, equals 40. We have 2 raised to power x minus 1, okay. So for 2 square is 2 times 2, that is 4, plus 1, we have to be 5, okay, equals 40, okay. So the next thing we do from here is to isolate this, okay. So let's divide both sides of the equation by 5, okay. So when we do that, so this is out, so we have 2 raised to power x minus 1 equals, so for 40 divided 5, we have it to be 8, okay. So for 2 raised to power x minus 1 to be 8, we can have it in this form as 2 raised to power x minus 1 equals, which represents 8, okay. So since we have the same base, so we have this as x minus 1 equals 3. So the next thing we do, we add 1 to both sides of the equation, okay. So when we do that, we have x minus 1 plus 1 equals 3 plus 1, okay. So here we have x, so this one is 0, so equals, so for 3 to be 4, okay. So that means x in this equation is 4. So by the time we look at this equation and we put in 4, okay, which is x, so that gives us, okay, let us check. So when we say to check, so for 2 raised to power x plus 1 plus, okay, 2 raised to power x minus 1, okay, so do we have 40? So we have 2 when x, okay, is 4, which is this. So we have 2 raised to power 4 plus 1 plus 2 raised to power 4 minus 1, okay. So let's have it this way. So for 2 raised to power 4 plus 1 is 5 plus 2 raised to power 4 minus 1 is 3. Power 5, we have it to be 32, okay, plus for 2 raised to power 3, we have to be 8. So by the time we add this together, we have our answer to be 40, which is this. So that means the value of x in this equation equals 4. The question says solve this equation, okay. In the first equation, we have 2 raised to power x squared minus 3x equals 16. And in the second equation, we have 2 raised to power 2 raised to power 2x equals 16. So how do we find the value of x? Solution. Okay, so from here, we have 2 raised to power x squared minus 3x equals 16. Okay, so from here, we can have 16 in base 2. So for 2 raised to power x squared, okay, minus 3x, okay, equals 2 raised to power 4, which is 16. So we have the same base. So here we have this as x squared minus 3x equals 4, okay. So we can have this in a quadratic form, okay, by equating the whole equation to 0. So we have x squared minus 3x. So for 4, we have it as minus 4 equals 0, okay. So we can factorize this, okay? So when we factorize this, we have this as x squared, okay, plus x minus 4x minus 4, okay, equals 0, okay. So when we do this, we now group this. So when we group this, we look for the common factor. So let's group this first. Let us group this. So we group that. So x is common. So we can use x to factor out this. So we have x into x plus 1. Okay. So here we have minus. So we can factor out this with 4. So we have minus 4 into x. Okay. Here we have this as plus 1. Okay. Minus times plus is minus. Equals 0. So we have x minus 4, okay, and we have x plus 1 equals 0. So for x minus 4 equals 0, so that means x equals 4. And for x plus 1 equals 0, so that means x equals minus 1. So x, the value of x is either 4 or minus 1, okay, in this equation. For the second equation, okay, we have this as 2 raised to power 2 raised to power 2x equals 16, okay. When we look at this, we can have 16 in base 2. So we have 2 raised to power 2 raised to power 2x equals 2 raised to power 4. We have the same base. We have this as, since we have the same base, we have this as 2 raised to power 2x equals 4. Okay. So we can write this in index form as well. So we have 2 raised to power 2x equals 2 raised to power 2. Okay. Which gives us 4. We have 2x equals 2. Okay. So when we divide both sides by 2, we have the value of x, okay, equals 2 here, 2 here is 1, 2 here is 1, okay, 2 here is 1, so the value of x equals 1, okay. So if you have to check this in this equation, okay, so let's do it somewhere here. When x equals 1, so we have 2 raised to the power 2, okay, raised to the power 2x equals 16, okay. So we have here 2 raised to the power 2 raised to the power 2. The value of x is 1, okay. So by the time we work out this, we have 16. So we have 2, which is this. So for 2, okay, for 2 times 1, we have it to be 2, okay. So here we have 2, which is this. So for 2 square means 2 times 2, okay, so we have this as 2 raised to the power 4, and for 2 raised to the power 4, we have it to be 16. So that means the value of x in this equation, okay, equals 1. And the value of x in this first equation is either 4 or minus 1. Thank you very much.